we're going to know right off the bat if all of your bets were in the right place, and if they were, well, kudos to you. Hats off to you, I guess, for predicting it up to this point. The first map of the series, Nuke, train after Dust 2 here as a decider. Looks like mousesports starting on that CT side, and we're ready to kick off this last match of the night here between mousesports and FaZe Clan. So get on up, get your PogChamps up, get your cans in the air, and more importantly, put your hands way up there too. We're ready to kick it off.
mousesports versus FaZe, the series of the day, the hot match, at least for me. As we get into this one, it's going to be a ramp play for FaZe to start off, taking it slow on the T side of Nuke. It's them picking the series. It's one that they have taken over mousesports just days ago in the Pro League, and they're looking to do it again. Nico is cross yard, drawing a distraction, but mousesports is still double set on the ramp. Rops getting tagged down. Woxic does get a kill before he's traded. Frozen's in the corner. There's such a heavy setup here for Mouse. A read on the pistol. Frozen needs to get this kill, and he does, holding on to the bomb in the position. Nico on the flank, but they know it.
Easy peasy. mousesports pick up the first round. Chris J on 1 HP stays alive, and here we go. We're going to re-look and revisit those odds here, as this seems a little bit more likely. Glad we could go ahead and clarify that.
Yeah, that seems a lot more reasonable, you know? Like, FaZe aren't just like a bunch of dudes who showed up to play in the league, you know, like barely touched CS before. Nah, you might know a few of these names, right? Like, you know, what if I told you Olof's in this team? What if I told you coldzera's in this team, right? If I went back in time a couple of years, it'd be pretty mind-blowing that we have this collection of names all over here together.
It really is. And that is definitely an entertainment value that FaZe Clan has delivered each time. Each iteration of the roster has always been, you know, jam-packed some of the best stars.
Do you want to know a really harrowing statement that's going to make you just think for a while?
I've had a couple of those. Go on.
coldzera won 2 majors 4 years ago. That's kind of crazy. Time flies, doesn't it? It feels like it was just yesterday.
Yeah, flies or ticks, whatever it does, it just keeps on moving along.
Wow, FaZe, will they be as fast as time itself in this B site? mousesports a heavy setup with 2 players on a crossfire, but the double window push, it gets melted by Rops. He's going to finish off a third before coldzera comes in with a trade, and the B site gifted to FaZe, but a smoke push for Woxic. I love the confidence here. He's going to drop both. Bomb getting planted, denied in the site, and mousesports will find a second. The force of FaZe goes nowhere.
Man, the fact that we got Rops showing up early on is a very good sign for any mousesports fans in the house, right? Like, he was instrumental to their victory yesterday versus OG. Think about his train performances, especially, right? How well he was able to anchor that B site. He was just stellar. And, you know, Woxic obviously putting up a few numbers there in that round as well. Might lead to him bringing this AWP out fairly quickly over on the CT side. So that's something to keep an eye on.
Oh dear, Frozen. Insult to injury, just going to tap Nico out of the round.
He's gone for the flusher buy.
Yeah.
Just armor and a pistol, a vanilla pistol.
I love it on the CT side. Like, I feel like, you know, flusher's kind of crazy for doing it with a Glock as much as it does work. But, you know, USP versus P250s and Glocks, yeah, it's a decent buy, all things considered. Oh, God, Rain. Nice double dink onto Woxic. Finding a FAMAS kill outside is still not going to be retrievable until they get past Frozen. That's not that hard considering the pistol, you would think. But Frozen finds a second kill for the round, looking for a third, and he is just slaughtering them right
Frozen,
now.
number 4.
Oh,
he gets it. He gets 4 with the USP in round number 3. You'll love to see it. Frozen, flusher, what's the difference? 3-0 for mousesports, and now this buy coming in for the FaZe Clan side.
I mean, nothing like playing 2 pistol rounds and a half. That certainly is fun on the CT side. Look at these kills. So clean for Frozen. He's getting tagged as well. He gets put down to like 20 health, and he still gets away with 4 kills, so respect. Woxic's got the AWP here. FaZe on the rifles, heavy on the Kriegs, 5 of them, but we know giving over Kriegs to CT players, especially on a map like Nuke, can be considerably dangerous long term. FaZe have to be careful. They've got to have their wits about them. Woxic's looking yard bound. Nico is setting up a smoke. You can wallbang that box with the AWP and find a bit of damage, nothing too significant, but Woxic isn't going to gamble. He doesn't want to give away the fact that he's armed and dangerous in this round. FaZe don't know it, at least not yet. They're going to try and cross behind these smokes, but if they don't walk close to the smokes, Woxic is going to be able to see them. And even if they cross towards Secret, Woxic is going to be able to see them. So danger for FaZe as they set up towards a garage, and Woxic's ready for that as well.
Still trained in with his scope so far. A bit too much time off of his perch, but that
so
run
sick.
boost by Rain and company was really what they needed to get past it. Taking out Woxic, however, there's a trade from Frozen. Now this is a bit of a standoff. That should be the end of Frozen. Yeah, he's going to get Molotov'd out by Coltsera.
Oh, dear. And Robs as well was out heaven. He didn't realize there was another player in the garage, but the run boost had already gone through. So even though they killed one player there, it's not going to be enough. FaZe have got a great position here. 4-on-2. They're going to drop down the vent. Chris is coming on rotation. He's yet to have a fight in this game. This is going to be his first, and it will be his last, at least for this round, getting a kill onto Nico before Brokey comes in with a trade, and Carrigan dropping in on the rotate will be finished off by Olaf. He wrapped outside to Hell. And FaZe will find their first round on this T side.
Three to 1. FaZe Clan getting their first one there. But fear not, we're going to see some money still in the hands of mousesports, which does mean an AWP back on Woxic. He was up in the heaven area that last round, and a run boost really got him off guard. So will he be aware? Now he's going to take his AWP to the big garage.
Yeah, but just holding this outside area for now, you know, no one from Mouse aggressing, no one picking up the pace, and so eventually FaZe do just have to throw down these outside smokes and try and work behind them. They're going to go ahead and drop the 2 that allow for this main split. That's something that FaZe now can look to pull into this round. Woxic down here in Hell does also have Frozen back in CT. Now, for mousesports, this setup is good, providing that FaZe keep up this garage aggression that they've been trying to throw in. If FaZe now try and wrap into heaven, Frozen's sitting back in CT. If we can just check Ella over on the forklift. And this is an angle that, you know, you might give it like a bit of awareness. You might look at it a bit, but if there's anyone else pulling your attention away, which I thought that was going to be Woxic's responsibility, well, now with him having to take up the position over here towards ramp, maybe they will be ready for Frozen. In fact, they look more than ready for Frozen. Oh, but Nico didn't actually... Oh, there we go. Second time's a charm, but not good enough. Molotov onto Chris J, gonna force him into the prying eyes of the main players. Rain, oh dear, it's a very messy round. This is a very messy round. Oh, Rops is here to clean it all up. There's the round for mousesports. They'll go 4-1 up on the board. And thank God Rops comes in with his mop and bucket when he does, because that was getting a little bit gross.
Nice play from him. I mean, Frozen, the cover on the forklift there is great. Nico's just shooting, but he's hitting all the metal, and Frozen's able to get a good angle off with the M4, beating the Krieg in a serious range battle. On that A site, a molly goes behind vents to push Chris out, but the player who threw the molly, I think it was Olaf, didn't capitalize. He tried to spam vents. There was a player there, but it was preemptive, and Chris is able to swing out wide and kill a player in main with a nade out. So, yeah, a bit of an issue there for FaZe with the communication potentially.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That fight from spawn, that's a Krieg's battle to win all day long. But forklift OP. It's like we're back on cash. Either way, here we're going to see some guns out here for mousesports and just pistols on the FaZe Clan side. Having lost that last round, surrendering at least, I only see 2 Kriegs over there for mousesports, but surely they've rejoiced a little bit in that. Rops has himself one here towards the ramp room.
And you don't want to give Rops a Krieg. I mean, this guy's lethal enough.
Yeah, it seems like they don't want to play around with the idea of going ramp. All this outside noise is just a ruse. They are in lobby, ready to strike from what it seems to be upper, unless it's a fast vent bomb. Frozen, getting wind of this, finds himself in the vent. Now the circulation coming full force. It's going to be Chris J, other vent. Trying to line him up. There's nobody there, just one. The other 2 trying to skate away, trying to get out of there.
Oh my! Trades in. Nico gets another. Frozen hasn't come up the vent the whole time, but he can at a whim. Woxic is going to burn out Olaf instead. mousesports will get rid of that eco. FaZe kind of left with nothing there, right? They fake the outside smokes. They sit towards door. mousesports, they do rotate a player B off the back of those smokes, but they still have 2 players on top site. So there's not really a lot FaZe can do as they walk into the crossfires. And Chris stalls them out nicely behind the vents as well, just jiggling. So standard stuff for mousesports, and FaZe coming back in with a rifle round, but not before mousesports take a tactical timeout brought to you by the US Air Force. They're going to have a breather. It's interesting to see a team pull this out while they're 5-1 up. But mousesports showing the importance of getting off to a strong start, especially on CT Nuke, knowing that not only is this a map that FaZe have been beating them on recently, but you know, it's a CT side. If you can streak together rounds, go 7-8-1 up, you're going to be in a very good position.
Speaking of the numbers, I mean, you look at these two teams, I kind of want to just take a second to, you know, at least observe the disparity between the two. We're looking at mousesports currently ranked at number 2. We got FaZe Clan all the way down there to number 9 on the ESL World Rankings. But are these teams so far off? How competitive is the top tier of Counter-Strike right now?
Well, I mean, yeah, like, I don't think there's... it's such a hard one, yeah, right? Like, because when you try and answer that, I feel like you look at like the potential that you know a team can reach as well, and that's always the problem with FaZe. Like, just the names in the server carry so much weight, right? Like, you're always going to find yourself believing in the cherry-picked best players from some of the best rosters of all time.
One thing that Nico talked about recently was the Krieger, and one of the points he made about it is for him, at least, as a player with incredible aim, you know, even before the Krieg, you will see him using it, but even before the Krieg, you know, he's incredible. And he was talking about how it feels like the problem with the Krieg for him is players that wouldn't necessarily beat him in an aim duel can now beat him in aim duels. And I feel like, you know, obviously that's a frustration, but you know, that is a point. I feel like this gun only lowers a skill gap when you get to the highest level because it is so easy. And considering I can make it work, and I'm not even a pro, you know, the fact that you're giving it to some of the best players in the world, well, of course they're going to abuse it. So I feel like this gun's only making things closer, which could sound good, but I feel like isn't good because it just, you know, I don't know. I preferred Counter-Strike before the Krieg.
Yeah, it's not like anyone's aim has had to get better, right? Like, suddenly the tipping point for being like one of those insane players is lower. But we'll revisit this topic another time, because in amongst all of this, FaZe have gotten out in towards this A-bomb site. And for Rops and Frozen, they might decide that holding onto these Kriegs is worth more than giving this 2-on-4 a go. However, Nico doesn't want to let them get away with anything over here on the CT side, and he does spot Rops out and is able to make quick work of him. So FaZe going to get this second round on the board with an upper push in this round.
Yeah, Frozen has to be careful. He can't save all over B because that bomb is just above him. So he's got to get towards a ramp room. Nico's there, but not for long. Frozen has dealt with him, but that's only going to alert the rest of FaZe to take this position. Instead, they save, and that's the right call. Keeping 3 guns of their own, building their economy on this T side early on, and it can be so difficult to do that on Nuke. mousesports, they got a bit of money. Chris was on 2K, though. We saw some players on 5.5, so there's a bit of a mixed bag here for mousesports, but they will buy back in. There's no way they want to give FaZe a streak of rounds here when they've got to save Krieg, so make the most of what you've got. An AWP on Woxic, and 4 on Robs. Chris taking the hit for the team.
Yeah, you don't want to tarnish that little bit of a lead that you got in the beginning of the game. Now just a 3-round deficit between the two teams. mousesports on 5, and it looks like FaZe can crash the squeaky door out this round. So far, a lot of damage being put there towards the FaZe clan, and it's not going to stop. They're going to throw some right on back. Kerrigan and Chris J fall. That leaves us down to a 4 versus 3. Very low on the side of FaZe clan, but they will get a bomb plant, barring any grenades come flying in here into the site. The bomb plant in the upper, the re-smoke of Mini, the Molotovs up into heaven. 2 to be exact. And that's just going to block out mousesports. That's going to ice them out of this site, and they really have no way to get back into this.
It's a devastating one because they've done all this damage, and it's like, A, they're not really to know that, and B, this utility alone can just hold them out of the bomb site. Now, Woxic does go back to line up a flash, but it looks like these are just going to be exits, surely. No, wait, are they going to go for it this late in the round? They're going to try and get on the bomb. Oh my goodness, Rops is sticking it. They're going to go back. Oh, no. Oh, goodness. Oh, no, it's all gone wrong. mousesports take a 6th round. And a big middle finger to FaZe clan from Mouse & Co. My goodness. I kind of love that. You know, they just wait. They wait the clock down so low, and eventually FaZe go, yeah, all right, they're saving, because who on earth retakes with this much time left?
Look at Woxic positions himself. He puts himself up in the heaven, looking down, holding that Hudding, and even drops for the second shot. My goodness, what an outstanding call by mousesports at the end of the round.
Robs gets tagged down to 10 health there, and Woxic saves him. Harry, you're talking about that flash being lined up by Woxic. He was going for it, and then obviously Robs made the call, don't do it. We're going to contact this, or whoever made the call, right? Don't give away the fact that we're going for this retake so late. save the utility, contact it. And like said, FaZe are back in the lobby, right? They have a position to watch the bomb from Hut, but Woxic hits 2 incredible shots without him hitting both those kills immediately. That's not happening. It's a done round, and Rops is off the defuse, but instead it's mousesports with 6.
If there weren't mind games going on before in this matchup, there's certainly mind games going on now.
We're going to be seeing FaZe look after every bomb plant for the rest of this series. I can guarantee you.
Where were you, KEKWing at when this happened? Where were you? Let us know. Hashtag EPL mailbag. What do you think about that? Quite the retake from mousesports. And they are ready to get right back at it here. Some weapons for FaZe Clan, though.
I was in the studio when Trace rung me and said, Hugo, FaZe is kill. And I said, no.
No. No.
That's exactly what FaZe said, I'm sure.
What a wild turn of events.
Yeah, I actually can't believe we just witnessed that. That feels like that's probably like one of the sweetest things I've got to see firsthand. My word, that was ridiculous. And now Nico, trying to save face in this round, heads down here towards Secret. But Frozen is already lying in wait. Chris J is also rocking the Lil Junior.
Ka-chow. Frozen jiggling on a headshot angle with a scoped-in Krieg. That is just disgusting. Karrigan's going to get back into this position that was just Molotov by FaZe Clan, so they're not going to be ready for it. Although he hangs around in the smoke, and as it fades, he finds Olaf coming through the door. It's mousesports with a 5-on-3. FaZe have advanced positioning, but do mousesports realize Woxic's watching for it with the orb? And this is going to be a free kill for him, you would think. He's aiming above, and Rain ducks below. That's a great play. Usually you see players on top of the railings just to, set off the crosshair of your opposition, and Rain does exactly that, but the opposite. Down below, he drops with 2 kills on the A site. No one watching for mousesports. They try to get rid of the bomb, and while it will get dropped, Rain can put in the numbers. There's a flank up ladder. No one's watching for it. Rops has found a timing, but does he realize there's a player to his left? He does. Little too late. Given a chance against Cold in the one-on-one, and he's found it. Rops again saving mousesports and the AWP, and a 7th round.
2 rounds, 2 defuses for the Ropsicle. And one thing that he's probably saying, ha 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 ha. Hee 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 hee.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to be saying that if you're Mouse at this point. It's another close round, but that's only, you imagine, going to work in mousesports' favor, right? I imagine after that last-minute retake, like, knowing the mousesports guys as we do, they're very smiley, always trying to keep it, like, very... and that's something, actually, Nico even spoke about in the FaZe Clan camp, saying how, in boot camp, one of the things they've tried to do is have more fun with the game. Like, try and make sure the energy is good because everyone's having a good time. While if you're FaZe, it's hard to be having a good time right now. And if you're mousesports, the good times just aren't stopping. Like, they're having a stellar time over here on this CT side. So, yeah, FaZe looking to try and get themselves out of the woods in this round. They try and go towards outside, and they do manage to trade onto Frozen. So they've got themselves a 4-on-4. Woxic, in amongst all this madness, is aggressed through the ramp room. And this is not only good because it allows him to get the drop onto this man in the squeaky door, but this is a lot of information gained. And for FaZe, suddenly, now they're worried. Okay, well, there's a guy push lobby. They might know what we're up to here. Ooh. Nico gets a kill out onto the A bomb site as he bests Karrigan. And now this bomb can rotate up through the vents. So FaZe, they've navigated this whole situation very, very well, thanks to that kill from Nico.
Yeah, great call to go back up the vent to that top side once they spot a player down lower. Chris gets a dink off with his MP9, but ultimately it's a retake for mousesports.
About, 20, 30 seconds time they'll go for it.
No, FaZe aren't leaving the site. FaZe are waiting. FaZe know mousesports will give this one a go, and Nico should have the drop on Woxic in this off angle. You would think, but there's a jiggle, there's a wiggle. Woxic is ready for a close position player. Chris is making noise in the door. Nico won't move. He is so solidified on this angle. Chris gets a first kill to Rain, and there's a spot. Woxic tagged down, finished off by Nico. He's left in the clutch. Rops has come out heaven again. A key position for him in the past, and it continues to be so in the present. He tags down Nico, and Chris will finish the job, but the bomb is so close to going off. I think they've just got it.
Oh, they got it with milliseconds to spare.
Oh, man.
FaZe are going to be crying after some of these retakes, man.
How do you get... I don't know that you get much closer to a defuse than that.
Yeah, I mean, and this has just been the case for Mouse.
Think of the last 3 rounds. Think of the last 3 rounds. Rops dropping in heaven and getting a defuse in a 3-on-4 with Woxic finding 2 kills. Rops coming up heaven as FaZe take heaven behind them, killing the planter and Cold in the 1-on-1, and then mousesports delaying a retake to the final 10 seconds again and getting it done.
Man, the whole of Twitter is just lit up right now with love and appreciation for Rops and Woxic and the rest of the mousesports boys.
And onside, Edelman thought so much of the hashtag, he used it twice. So it might behoove you to do the same thing. You never know when you end up on the stream itself. And I have noticed over there on the lands of Twitch, we are well over 100,000 people watching us.
100,000.
100,000.
That's like a lot of
100,000.
Wow, Trace.
So that's like 1,100 people.
Wow.
There's 100,000 people.
To all 100 of you, thanks for joining us.
I'm leaving. See you.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
okay, we're at...
honestly, at this point, this game has just got me feeling a certain way. So let's see. Nico over here towards outside, looking for this opening kill. Woxic is in position, but he's going to give it up straight away. He's felt more than willing to do this and leave outside control in Frozen's hands.
Yeah, one thing that's cool from Woxic that we're seeing in this game is he's switching up his position every round. Sometimes he's heaven watching for that A contact. Sometimes he's outside. Sometimes he's ramp pushing. And, you know, while that is good, we have seen it come back to haunt them. FaZe, 3 rounds ago, when they got that top site off of a fast play where they got a bomb plant and Rops won the defuse round, you know, there were only 2 players in A for mousesports. And FaZe read that well. They knew Woxic wasn't going to be heaven. So they got A off of that. So it is a danger having your AWP float, but at the same time, it gives you so much versatility, and mousesports are winning these retakes, so things are looking good. Another A take for FaZe potentially. They're setting up mollies on top of the hut roof. Karrigan sitting close in the corner, and Frozen is above him. Rob's finding the first blood, though, in this round towards a ramp. As FaZe double back, he's dropped the bomb with 2. No more than that. Frozen will find 1, and the AWP is on rotation. Of course it is. Woxic is here and ready to stay, ready to play as he takes down Nico. Olaf in a clutch, nowhere to go, and he's being surrounded.
Yeah, as it stands, Harry, this couldn't be going much better for the side of mousesports. Olaf with a drop on a Woxic, but that AWP is just too fast. There's no response there, and so far, not good for the FaZe clan. 9-2 down. Some of you picked FaZe to win this game. We're not going to point any fingers around here. But what we will do is point our attention to this question coming in from the EPL mailbag. Is mousesports the most creative, entertaining, and dangerous team?
I feel like they tick a lot of those boxes, honestly, right? Like, you know, we've already seen some great gimmicks from the mousesports side on Nuke. Think about that Chris J smoke from the other day that their coach, Regin, we learned, was the man to find. There's so many big brains in this team. And one thing that's great is, like, clearly they all trust in each other and they trust in the system that Karrigan and Regin have looked to implement. Now, kind of the irony of all of this is that FaZe, that was their problem. They didn't, right, back when he was in this team. Well, here on Nuke, it's all coming up in favor of Mouse. And I think nothing shows the trust more than that stick of the bomb from Rops with Woxic covering him. Now, this round, we'll get back into it because Olaf has been able to deal with 1. But it shouldn't amount to too much. That smoke goes in, and now Karrigan doesn't know if there's players in Squeaky, so he's got to keep an eye on this, make sure that no one gets down through the vents. That's why we see Frozen preemptively rotate down towards the B bomb site. But we, of course, know that all the FaZe are over here towards outside, and Woxic did just get a little snippet of info as he spotted Brokey jiggle peek in this corner.
Yeah, so he swapped position in anticipation of FaZe being ready for him to be above. Well, he's not. He's down below. And a quick blow to the kill of Rain. Brokey followed up as well. And Cold, well, now freezing. Stuck in secret in a 1-on-4. Frozen's also got the wrap, and Cold has just turned his back on this position to get the bomb. Garage will not leave him open to Frozen for the time being. But is the assumption there is the read here for mousesports as Cold looks to pick up that package. He might not even, because at this rate, how winnable is this round? But no, he's got it. And no one's punished him for it. Frozen, timing is everything. He's still in secret. Just a second peek could find him the kill. He spots the head, but he won't find the kill. Oh dear, Cold turns around. And that one moment of hesitation is all Frozen needs to finish off the round. 10-2 for mousesports. Harry, this is the map that FaZe beat mousesports on the other day, the only map in the series they took.
And man, this is where that whole idea of, you know, teams that lose their map pick have a lot to go and look at. Well, Mowers have clearly been looking at something. I don't even know if it was the VOD for this game or if they just hopped in a server before it and were like, right, let's think of all the dirtiest things we can do. And I, for one, am excited. I feel like mousesports have even more to show us before all is said and done. Brokey over here towards outside, gets tagged there on the cross. He actually gets finished off by Frozen. That's so unfortunate. FaZe, they just feel like they can't catch a break at this point. Now, Olaf does get a critical kill there onto Karrigan. He probably gets a bit overzealous. That nade gets caught as well by Chris J. And so they know that there was just a player in the hut. Now worming their way towards outside. That Molotov doesn't go off because it gets extinguished by the smoke. Frozen's going to try and go through. He's playing around these smokes and does deliver one. It's still the man advantage right now for Mouse, and just about Woxic able to get away. There's the kill, and oh my word, it's a mousesports round again, 11-2.
FaZe must be absolutely regretting buying the Krieg right now because they've given it over to mousesports, and mousesports are destroying them with it. Frozen is 6-0 in opening duels in this game, Harry.
Think about it, man.
All in the yard.
They don't get the Kriegs a hell of a lot on the mousesports side, right? Like, we know that Karrigan, I know he said, like, it comes down a map, it comes down a situation, but the majority of the time, they don't pick them up. And, you know, a lot of the time we see it's not really till, like, round 15, round 14 that those Kriegs ever even come out for Mouse. And what a lot of teams have said, Astralis included, is like, if they get gifted them on the CT side, then of course they're going to use it, right? You've got no reason not to, because the Ts can get them whenever the hell they want. So yeah, putting this Krieg in the hands of Mouse has been devastating. Frozen, you touch upon him, he's just been dominating with it outside. In this round, they're going to crunch into the A site, and Nico does burn out one. Missed shot from Woxic, and Nico's Deagle delivers.
Oh my.
But we talk about the Krieg, and there's Rop showing off why it is so deadly. He is having a stellar game. Him and Frozen up top of the board with, what, 34 kills between the two of them, 10 deaths on those two players combined.
Yeah, I mean, we have 2 opening kills for FaZe in this entire map so far, and we're 15 rounds deep, so things certainly aren't looking good for the FaZe clan right now. This is their map picking the series. The T-side start just not there right now. mousesports, we know how dominant their CT sides can be, Harry. It was back at the Pro League where they 16-0'd EG on this map, if I'm correct, on the CT side of Nuke. Oh dear, Karrigan. Oh, he sees a barrel. He's going to get the drop on him. Olaf gone, and Karrigan will just duck and dive out of the lobby into the safety of the A site. FaZe finally have some control in this round, and it is down towards Secret as they look to push all 4 players behind the smokes. mousesports have got a rotation here, though. Karrigan has come down through the vents and dropped in to try and assist. FaZe, every kill matters. Any kill matters.
Yeah, really, they can't even afford to let Karrigan get like a one and done in this kind of spot. Now, with that flash going in, they know that he's here, but Mouse, they've got the read. They've rotated 2 players down into this B site already. Chris J's spamming from ramp, and that's got the attention of everyone from FaZe, and Rops is just allowed to work his magic over here on the rafters. He does get shut down by coldzera, but still so many bodies left to find, and it doesn't happen. mousesports 13-2. Incredibly dominant first half from Mouse here on the map pick of FaZe Clan. Join us after a quick break to see if that continues in the second half of play.
You've been distracted, your best, my average, there's a reason for that's a fact. So they snapping back, mad at the fact that I don't have a backup plan. I need that. Outworking everybody when I relax. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I call the shots in the man with the plot and we only go bombs away. And no one protecting my mind as a weapon, that's why I'ma dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world. you've been distracted. Your best, my average, there's a reason for that's a fact. So they snapping back, mad at the fact that I don't have a backup plan. I ain't need that. Outworking everybody when I relax. So I ain't tripping about none of y'all feedback. Heard that, wonder when I'm gonna peak at. And that's why you count your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish. Yeah. I feel on top of the world. I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world. I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world. I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world. I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world. I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world. I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world. I wanna conquer the world right now.
Welcome back, guys and gals. We are here, FaZe Clan versus mousesports. We're ready to kick this second half off. Not much of a first half here for the FaZe Clan. However, it's been nothing short of a highlight reel of mousesports decision-making and frags. Welcome back to the ESL Pro League, everybody. 13-2 is where you find yourself currently, which doesn't mean that it's been an easy road for the FaZe Clan, and I'm sure Harry and Hugo can tell you all about it.
Yeah, I don't think this is even a frag movie for mousesports. I think it's a diffuse movie. That's how they've been winning these rounds on the CT side, absolutely tearing through FaZe Clan, and the Kriegs given over, well, that's got to be regretted. Well, there are even going to be Kriegs in this map. Is it going to be long enough to see those rifle rounds come through as mousesports look to make it a quick affair? Carrigan out the door in the face of FaZe, but he won't find a kill. He's going to be backing off behind the smoke and stalling out while his team group towards ramp. Only one man here. Olaf has to hold his own. Carrigan's lost his life on the A site, and Olaf drops down B. But Chris will chase him. mousesports attempting to take lower in this pistol round. They are going to walk into a heavy setup. Rain and Olaf on a crossfire. The shot's not connecting, though. Ooh, finally, Rain warming into things. We know he's good on these pistols. But think back for the time being, and Olaf can't find an angle either. mousesports are getting flanked. This is falling apart. It's down to Frozen and Rops to be the heroes of this round.
Yeah, but they have been heroes from ours all first half long. If any two players could get you believing, it might be these two. They've got to hit some spectacular shots, though, with these crossfires that have been set up by FaZe. Olaf in window, Nico holding for the push, and then Rain waiting down here in decon. Wherever Mouse try and find their answer to this problem, they're going to experience heavy resistance with trade potential around every corner. And so now Frozen all alone, while he does get that first kill onto Olaf, it's not much in the way of making this round possible. He's going to go back up through the ramp and look for an avenue. Checks that the backline's clear, and it is. FaZe are not budging. This is a lot of restraint from the FaZe Clan side. Eventually, they might have to consider that he goes up to A. So we see Brokey heading up through the vent. Nico now spots him on the B site, and that's where the peak from Rain in decon does come in. So FaZe going to get the pistol round on the board. If they wanted to recover this second half, that was a must. They're still a long way behind, though. It's still a 10-round consecutive streak needed if they wanted to tie this up at 13-13.
Yeah, big round from Rain, though. 3 kills in the pistol. Exactly what FaZe needed to start things off. But yeah, like you said, you know, it's no one's holding out for it right now. It's not undoable, but we got to see if FaZe can even find the anti-ecos required. This should be a pinch. It's full Glocks for mousesports, making it a quick affair. Might just run through the hut after the Molotov, or even just hold, waste the utility of FaZe. A bit more money gone if you want to get real sweaty. But with these Glocks, you know you're not going to find more than a couple of kills on overwhelmed FaZe players. And a plant, well, that's even more unlikely. Oh, my, here it goes. The cavalry arrive, and as quick as they come, they get cut down. Chris with 1. Bombs out in the open. FaZe have got control. They're just looking to finish off the job. And Rain and Brokey will. Carrigan's getting wrapped from the lobby as well. This ain't happening, buddy. Ooh. Olaf looks away.
Yeah, that's 1 kill now for Carrigan.
Yeah, smart man getting rid of the grenades. Those are expensive.
Yeah, I love that. That's just going to force a little bit more reinvestment, right? Those incendiaries especially are very costly over on the CT side. So nice work to do damage to the FaZe bank accounts in the long run. And now this investment comes in. I mean, you know, with 2 kills getting found in that round, full blocks. Really, I don't think you can be too unhappy with how that one panned out if you're in the Mauers side of things. FaZe at least putting another round on the board. It's starting to close the gap a little bit.
But this is it. This is the moment of truth, Harry. First rifle round from mousesports. They don't have a lot of utility, only a few smokes, and they will all go out outside early on to allow for this cross. Now, Frozen's been mollied off, can't commit to it, but he's getting tagged down to 30. Grenade will follow, will be avoided. Carrigan will not avoid the bullets, though, getting tagged by the scout as well down low. Good start for FaZe, as they have received no damage and only painted mousesports thin. Olof spots something. Does he know there's 3 players around that corner, though? Rops is going to swing for the trade, and now mousesports have options open to them. The B site is just around the corner, but they're going to take the bomb back into lobby and leave Rops on a lurk. He's going to come in late on Heaven, as this looks like a top site play, but Brokey does deal with the first man out.
Frozen creeps in and deals with Brokey up in Heaven. That's now a free pathway for Rops. coldzera now giving up his position here as well, and they wait for Rops to come in on this rotation and flush him out. Nico and Rain now in a 2-on-3, and are they even going to give this one a go? The bomb can get planted for Heaven. This means Rops doesn't even have to move. Nico's looking for an angle onto him. And Rops has just dodged that fight entirely, so it might just be the save here for FaZe.
Rain wants to go up, but he's waiting for Nico to get this kill, but this kill just isn't coming. Rops is completely repositioned, and with that, saving his own life and denying any chance of FaZe even going for this, right? They can't consider it with Heaven not being under their domain. That's just real estate that's too much to risk for, and they'd rather hold on to the guns against this precarious scoreline. mousesports, 14 rounds now on the T side. They find their first in the third. FaZe, bye. That's all you got to do. That's all you can do.
Yeah, we get to see Brokey bring the AWP out here on the CT side. This was one of the first maps they looked to incorporate Brokey AWPing CT side on. So, one that he should be comfortable on. He doesn't have the armor behind this AWP, and that is something to bear in mind when you're up against this flurry of AKs on the other side. And Mouse, they know this isn't going to be a great buy for FaZe, so I'm curious as to how they're going to approach this one, right? They're not going to have a lot of utility. They're not going to be able to sustain these gunfights for very long. And so as a result, if you're Mouse, if you're able to bait out the tiny bit of utility that they've got, suddenly you're in a great spot to be in.
Yeah. FaZe are feeling pressured. They feel like they need to make plays to get themselves in a good position. I don't blame them, but right now, them getting aggressive is just feeding the kills to mousesports. And look at the position they're stuck in. Rain is pinched. He's cornered. He's stuck alone, and he will be able to get frozen, but the man inside of main, Carrigan, given an opportunity to take this A site. He's still looking for the fight. The bomb's already been planted for mousesports, and it's all just about putting the final killing blows in. Bomb down B. Brokey's running for the hills, looking to save this AWP. He'll be joined by Rain, but when it rains, it pours, and mousesports are soaking the FaZe clan members.
That's going to do it. That's going to put mousesports up to 15, and things are looking real good in their camp. House sports, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, I do all too well. I mean, these guys are looking so at home, like they definitely needed a little bit to warm on up into the Pro League. But here, as we're seeing with this masterclass on Nuke from Mouse, they very much adjusted to it now, and it's starting to look like the team that we saw win the Pro League finals last season, right? So FaZe outgunned, outstratted in this one. That kill from Frozen is nuts, by the way. He got pincered from main and garage, and the main player ran past him. And while all that chaos is happening, Frozen turns around, kills a guy in garage, and then is able to even spam Rain down low in amongst it, or Nico down low rather, in amongst it all. So 15-4 now for mousesports. 1 round left is all they need, and FaZe with this buy, is this going to be the round that they're able to pick it up? I don't know.
Well, Olaf certainly started off well, drops the bomb and heads down lower, gives mousesports this control. But we've seen in the past, mousesports getting players out ramp is such a threat to FaZe. Rops came in on a lurk up heaven a few rounds ago. Now this time he's in the A site. And mousesports are just going to commit off the back of that kill. It might be the map done at this rate, 4-on-3. Brokey looking to save the day, but the Molotov is at his feet and he's got to smoke it off to stay alive. Olaf does double down with his second of the round, but how much is this going to be worth it for FaZe? Because mousesports have the clock ticking in their favor.
Oh, Chris J's even going on this long flank in through ramp. He's going to look to deal with the Heaven player in the form of Brokey. Now, Brokey has been waiting patiently all round long for his teammates to get into main so he can try and tie this play together. But Rops, he locks it in with 3. 4 in total in the round, and Rops lights up the scoreboard to carry mousesports